Welcome into our results video for round 17. We're going to kick it off with the people squad, then get into mine and look at the overall rankings, the Jamie Brown fantasy community, NL fantasy analysis community. That'll be sick. We'll get into it here. So good scores here with Garrick. The 68 was terrific. Haas, Grant, the backups this week weren't as good, but we know that the week following their backup is when they go nuts. And you'll see here, obviously, the majority of Origin guys didn't score so well. It was, Carrigan, Fafita that were really the standouts, obviously, in that game, but there was obviously the low in Reece Walsh as well. And unfortunately, we didn't get the 50 from Sandon Smith. I believe there was an opportunity to loop in potentially with Walshy. We could have tried something there. But definitely didn't expect a 7 against the Titans. So, and didn't expect a 50 from Sandon. So, that's where we're at with the people squad. 931, decent overall rank now at 1329. We did use the couple of trades there instead of the 4, which was good. So saves us a few for this week to do a few things. Sandon Smith being a good player that we can actually play in our starting side means good things. We had Jack Bird brought in for 29, Walshy 7. Wasn't a lot of great there, but our halves were awesome with Johnson, Moses, and DeBellin up top there. Haas, as I said, with Grant, okay. Cookie, Turpin, solid scores. Fisher Harris, the 49. So overall, a pretty good position there. Coming into next week in round 18, we have Hopgood and Moses out. So just the 2 Eels, which is good news there. And then each and every one of our other players is likely to be playing, apart from Turpin there. We will have to find out a little bit about Lem and his potential knee injury. They strapped it up, and there's every chance that he gets a bit of a rest this week, but we'll have to see on that one. If he does, it's going to be a bit of carnage for those that are holding, and there are a decent chunk that did sell him last week, but there's plenty of holders as well. So let's hope you do have trades remaining for that one. But we've obviously got enough guys that could come in and cover with Bateman, Preston, and Buller there to come in for that. Buller will be that extra in the wing fullback position, and then we've got an edge to cover Hopgood. And halves wise, we are fine with Sandon Smith, which is great news, thankfully. Surprising though, the lack of halves in our squad, so it ended up working out better that we did get Sandon and in this squad anyway. But team's looking all right, guys. Not really too much more to gather. I think that we'll clearly get in the top 1,000 over the next few weeks, just with the extra trades that we have, and not a lot of Eels in this one, and we're setting ourselves up better for round 19. We still will need a few more trades to get to a solid round 19 squad, considering we do need wing fullback there. And we're still looking for our hooker, which could happen this week in a Simkin, could happen next week in a Hands, or we could work it out from there. But that's where we're at with the people squad. But let's leave it at that, and we'll get into my squad and then all the rankings from there. So my team does go into 97th overall. It was a pretty solid week at 969. A few things went great, and then a few things not so good there. Obviously, Teddy to finish off the week with a 20 was pretty disgusting there, unfortunately. Did have Cook and Robson, especially Cook doing great there, 48 in his 53 minutes before he got his rest. So having both him and Robson as the guys backing up and both getting a spell outside of their usual 80 minutes wasn't ideal, especially when Robson's a bit more of an accumulator. You see the lower minutes of guys like Payne Haas, and he's someone that is a impact player. Obviously, the more minutes he gets, the better he goes, but he can score well in any type of minutes, and Robson's not exactly that player, 38 and the 60 odd. He's getting closer to being on the trade outs list, but it's really with the squad where it's set up and the amount of trades. I did use the one to bring in Blake Taff. I didn't use him as a scorer, but just got him in to grab the 30k price rise this week, and potentially a player here in 18, and then obviously the fullback in round 19. Currently sitting with 12 players for round 19. The guy we need at the moment, I don't need an edge at this point because I'd have Bateman to come in with Hopgood. Liero just needs to go. The 33, we held for it. I was going to trade him to Boyd. I would have double traded to do that. That would have been a mistake in the end with only his 34, so I'm only beating Trent out by 1. But Trent is going to be going to IPAP. We do need a double trade though with Trent going pretty poor. He was a fine young stallion for the side, and he's kind of just reverted back to being poor, unfortunately. He lost a lot of his price gains, and in the end, we know, as we said last week, Preston was the guy. Yes, Trent a little bit cheaper than Preston, and a little bit more to gain at that point, and that very quickly turned around over the last 3 weeks especially. So there was a mistake, but we'll cop that and move on from there. We can't get all of them right. We definitely haven't, but been more right than wrong this year compared to last, that's for sure. Anywho, but yeah, Horsburgh at 86. I didn't have that in the people's squad either, so that was a cracking finish. Klook started in there with 53, playing Lem in there as well to try to loop both of them. Worked out okay in the end. Didn't have to get anyone in or bring anyone in and played them ahead of them, but that was a good way to do it, guys. If you're looking at that and thinking, why has he got 6 and 7? Nugul Klookstar came in straight in for Buller, and then Lem was easily able to jump into my interchange, which he ended up being interchanged for there. And if I didn't want to use Lem's score, if something happened to him, whoever I could trade in could end up going into the 5 or the 4 slot, and I'd be able to take their score over Lemuelu. So that's how that loop worked there. In that one, Penasini the 59 was awesome. Yeah, Drinkwater 77 there as well. Pretty standard across the board. Obviously, Ponga owned by most people. And potential trades this week. Turpin is definitely on the chopping block if he is injured. He's been a great servant for the squad, made us a couple 100k. Turpin and Liero would be the trade outs. I do have 3 Eels players, and then I have Taff, who I'm not super keen on playing this week, but I may have to. It may be an early trade in of Brennan Hands. Could be potentially the option. If we do find out a bit of news on Lem and he's out, then really we're hoping for like Dylan Lucas to be the center. But really, if he is out from here, it does make it pretty tough on needing a round 19 center then to partner Penasini, because Manu will not be there. So let's hope that he is named. Obviously, the drop in price is not good, but a lot of other guys are making up for that, and I pretty well stayed at the team value I began the year at. Began the week at. So that's right there at 969. Let's get into the rankings and the top guys there. And Booze Clues, I think I beat him just this week, so we made 6 points on first, so we're on the charge. 640 points to go. Pretty crazy how much he's 250 ahead of the next few guys, who are really, the next 3 guys are a big chunk ahead of 5th and the like there. So I'm 270 points away from 5th in Jason there. Brenton's still in 3rd, so shout out to him. Nothing's too much has changed, at 962. So yeah, I scored up similarly to those in the top section there. We will jump in and have a look at our good man. I believe we've got Dave in there at 50, who we know. We've got our boy Matt in the private group in a 50-30, just snuck ahead of the Jamie Brown Enjoyer at 55th. So we're still following you, and we're trying to chase both of you down. Matt did well this week. Used a few trades to get to a 980, and hopefully can keep up the good scores and sneak into that top 50. But yeah, that's where we're at the moment with that. I will go through where guys are at with trades and stuff like that. The Yet Another Fantasy side is really helpful with all the trade numbers. Obviously, it had a new stat during the weekend with how many green dots we're playing, so that was pretty cool. It wasn't, I think before the last game there was 59% of teams had 17. I think it got up to a little bit higher than that, but there were a bunch of teams playing with less than the top 1,000, so that was very, very interesting on that front. But it'll be cool after that week there to see how many people have trades left, especially if like Lemuelu or Turpin or these guys are out there heading into round 18 for sure. So that's that on that front. Let's go to so my trades, I'm 4 trades left now and 170 odd in the bank, so that's going to be helpful for this week, I'd imagine. Again, not enough to just do the singular trade of Trent Lioro there, but let's go to our fantasy analysis community. Obviously got Booze Clues and Brenton up top there. Plenty of strong coaches. The top 3 there are sitting in the top 4. Yeah, Tyrone in 4th there. So we have 1st, 3rd, and 4th in our league, and they're doing really well. So good stuff to them. That's probably all there. If you scroll in and see your name, happy days. We got Matt, Jamie Round Enjoyer, and then I'm pretty close in there somewhere. Not sure where I am. 20-something? 33. Oh, I got some work to do, don't I? That's for sure. All right, so that's that league there. Got Matt and myself in the top 2 in our one. Head-to-head, I went 969. I won that one. Lost the head-to-head of 2019. Beats moderator Pierce. Unlucky champ, but still a good score for you. 938. Podcasts, so 4th at the moment. Didn't really change too much. Very similar scoring up top. So Chris Rogue Waldo beat me by 1. Stuart had a bit of a light week at 882, so he comes back to the pack a little bit, but still clearly in 2nd spot. Eddie, I beat him by 16, leaves me 14 behind now. So it's so close up top in the top 4 now. Obviously with Chris well out in front, but still within reach of being caught. So it's very much in the balance, this top 4. Scoop had a solid week, 936, and he drops back a little bit. Mark 919 there. Rob, our head-to-head guys. Just remember, guys, a bunch of these guys are head-to-head, especially Rob. He's a head-to-head player at the moment. TK the 919. It all goes kind of a little bit lower from there. But yeah, the hunt for, really, it's in the top 10. You look at that. TK's at 638 there, and he's just under that 15,000 total, and within just under 400, just over 400 from first place. So there's still plenty to play for in the podcast league. We actually never put anything up. Maybe next year we can have put up a bit of a prize, or we all have a bit of a $50 in, or I don't know, we do some kind of in league for the podcasters. Could be pretty fun there for sure. Ninth in Cowboys, which is pretty cool. That's probably it, I suppose. All we need to go from in that one. Yeah, we'll get into team values and all that kind of stuff as we as the trades and all that as we get through it. Actually, I might check the team values while we're here now. So I'm at 14.47. Nigel's almost near the 15 mark. 14.7s, 14.9s, 14.2, or 15, which is pretty cool. 15.2, wow. So yeah, plenty of higher team values there. If you're anywhere near the 14 mark, I think you're in a pretty solid position. Especially, I'm in the top 100. I'm 14.4, so anywhere around the 14, I think you can really make up some ranks on wherever you're at from there. But that's this video, guys. Just wanted to jump in and show you the results for the week. Very happy with where we're at, obviously back in the top 100, and I think with 4 trades, saving another couple basically, and only using one this week, I think you can launch maybe 1 or 2 each of the next 2 weeks, and save I think 1 maybe heading into round 20 and round 21, so we can launch in those as well. Good luck in your trades this week. I hope you went pretty well.